Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope you are doing all well. Here we are, one more free webinar for our followers and fans. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. I don't know where you are now. So waiting for a little bit more. 1 minute, just 1 minute, and we'll start. Meanwhile, you can tell us where you are right now. Remember this go-to, you have to use the chat the question box, because I don't know why the chat doesn't work. Good morning from Philadelphia and Charlotte. Yes, the message doesn't work. I don't know why. Bonjour Gonzalo. Daniel Gonzalo. Ángela. Hi Ángela. Los Toldos. That is in Buenos Aires. Veronica from VA. Hola, Vero. Hello from Greece. Epaminondas. Hello. Paula, good morning from Buenos Aires. Marta from Spain. Grace from the UK. Gonzalo from Argentina. Luis Grasso from England. Well, hello, hello, hello. And thank you one more time for accepting this invitation. Today, you are seeing this guy. We'll explore Plus Tool, an innovative translation tool designed by Yves Champollion, our CEO. That's a tool for translators who want simplicity and efficiency. You will see if you didn't see it yet. Remember that we will record. We are recording right now, and this recording will be posted on our YouTube channel, and maybe tomorrow and the day after tomorrow at last. We have some time for questions at the end, so maybe meanwhile, if speaking or doing the demonstration, you can write your question in the question box, or I will enable your mic and you can ask direct to it your question. Thank you so much for being here again. And if the floor is yours, let's get started.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. And so the title of this short presentation is a little bit a provocation, because I think the title is a translation tool without a user interface. So traditional translation tools are a little complex. And right now in 2026, if you use one of those, either a legacy translation tool like an installed translation tool, what we call a desktop, you will see menus everywhere and buttons and options and a lot of things. And you want to start a project, so you open the machine. We said, you want to start a project? No, I just want to translate one file. Okay, but you still have to create a project. Okay, and then you have to specify all kind of things. And then, do you want to have a translation memory? Okay, sure. Okay, let me add all the options. What's the folder? What's the okay? And then the machine says, do you want to have a term base or a glossary? And so you said, not really. I mean, yeah, I've got a few terms, but no. So, and then you have it feels like flying a Boeing, And many of the people I meet when I go to those translation conferences. I'm sure you've been to those, like in your country or the ATA or the ACETRAD and so on. I meet translators. They come to ask me, and it's always the same. Oh, there's one thing I cannot do. I'm trying to export this or import that or save this as, and it doesn't work. So I said, okay, maybe let's try to do a translation tool that doesn't ask you any question. I mean, apart from what's your source language and what's your target language. And apart from that, just you drop a source file, you do the translation, you save it, and then you have what we call the translated file. So I started with Microsoft Word docx because it's the most used format out there. And the nice thing with Microsoft Word, I mean, there are good things, bad things. Okay, it's getting expensive now. Okay, it's also a complex machine, but the nice thing with Microsoft Word these days is that it opens PDF pretty well, and it can even save as PDF really well. And there are even options online that would OCR or scan your PDF, and in case the client sends you screenshots of a fax, the horror thing. So I'm going to show a translation tool which is called Plus Tools. But before I start there, I'm going to go over what it is and what it's not, so that we are on the same wavelengths. So the first thing before I share my screen is desktop versus webtop. Desktop is a thing you install in your computer and work from inside your computer with or without the internet. Okay, so think about the software that have been there for the last 30 or 40 years. And then you have the new trend is webtop, called also online software. You get there with your browser, you log in, you sign in, usually pay a fee or sometimes it's free, and so on. So Plus Tools is desktop. It's a software you install inside your PC. That can be Windows, that can also be Macintosh. And I've got people who make it run on Linux, but it's not going to be our topic. If you want things to be simple, you probably don't use Linux anyway. So having said that, if you start Plus Tools as an option, you could connect to an internet service such as machine translation. That's your choice. So immediately, people who know Wordfast are going to ask me, what's the difference between Plus Tools and Wordfast Pro? Pro supports many more file formats: InDesign, Quark, FrameMaker, XML, stuff like that. So if that's your daily life, translating those outlandish formats, yes, you need Wordfast Pro. Also, Wordfast Pro has a lot of features, a lot of advanced features, such as track changes, unlimited track changes, very sophisticated system. It also can support many translation memories at the same time. In case you want to use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TMs at the same time, it's going to do it. It can also support multiple glossaries, and so on. So if you want, if you want a full-fledged translation tool that does everything, grab Wordfast Pro and use that. Plus Tools is basically a lookalike of Wordfast Classic. It works with Microsoft Word, but it does not need Microsoft Word. That's the main point.
If you're not sharing yet, right?
No.
You're not. Okay,
So
right?
do you see my screen?
No.
No. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to share my screen soon. And
Okay.
the last thing is there's one thing that this tool does that other translation tools don't, which is it's a complete set of utilities to merge, convert TMs and glossaries and your files, and that is a feature that I added to Plus Tools that most other tools will not have, or they will try to sell it as a platinum version, or I don't know what. So let's start. I will now share my screen. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So yeah, as you can see, I am a fan of the what we call black screen, because I'm also a freaking developer. So let me see. Plus Tools is a very small program. You see it here. If you have good eyes, you will see that it's 1 MB. You can put Plus Tools, and then see and double click, and it's going to start. It's in technical term, we call that a portable application. There's no, you can install it. There is an installer for people who like it, So you can uninstall, install, but you can just double click the exe file, and then it's going to start. So I'm starting it now, and let's make it empty. So that's the welcome screen. I'm going to show how to use it without the user interface, or virtually without a user interface. So as you see, it looks like a browser. You have a tab, okay, and it says drag drop a file or open one. So let me use the quick test here. I drag and I drop it on my Plus Tools, and then there's a preset for the most likely languages, but you can change these. So you have virtually all the languages on the planet, but you can still enter your own if you want. And then, okay. So you're going to have a standard translation tool with source text on the column on the left, and on the right, you have the target columns, which are empty. So this is pretty much what you will see with any translation tool out there. A difference is that you don't see menus and options and these sort of things. Let me hide this one. You can, here you can change the font size. See, okay, these sort of things, You have the progress bar at the bottom right, 0%. Okay, and then let's start and open the first segment. So you have an icon here. That's complex. You have to understand that this icon is where you get started. So I push this one and un emplacement de rêve. Okay, that's French. Donc, okay, so that's okay. La mer ici est okay. So I pretend that I translate. Okay. It's telling me that, yeah, okay, my ending punctuation is not good. So there is a sort of what we call a QA. It tells me that there's no punctuation at the end. I put it, okay. And I have a glossary, but I don't respect it. So that's why there's this red thing on the top here saying, okay, in your glossary, walking is translated by, I think the language is Czech, but I don't use my glossary. Move to the next. Uh, okay. So this is pseudo translation. I'm not doing an actual translation. I'm just showing what the translators are doing every day. You know, use a translation, have the prompt for proper names and so on. And Shimani. Well, so this is a quick and dirty translation here, and I reach the end. So what do we do when we have done the translation? We can proofread, so we can go through every segment, up, down, up, down. Okay. Now my day is finished, and what do I do? Well, I want to have the translation, the final translation. So there is a menu here, and one obvious option is to save the translated file. So let me try that. Okay, so it tells me we saved the translation file. We added a language tag at the end, which is FR. So now it's called quick test underscore FR, and it's there. So if you save it, well, you can have it opened in Microsoft Word, if my Word is going to open, and then you are going to see the translated document. But for some reasons, my Word is very slow on this machine, but it's okay. Just give it a few seconds. It's going to finally open. Hey, Word. Maybe that's because I have I did not update my Word for a long time, but it's going to be coming. While we are here, well, we are in the translation tool, and we don't have any menus. We have a search function here. Like, okay, if I write a term multiple, then it's going to show me that. But I could also do a search replace for terms on my document, and it's going to search replace all. Okay. Word has finally opened. You see, my Word has a dark theme, and we have the document in French with the format. That's a title. The original is here. Okay, and if we put them side by side, then the translation is here. So to make a long story short, we started with the English document dropped into Plus Tools. it opened up as a standard, translation tool user interface. I translated everything that's here on the right side. And then when I open in the end, I have the French text. So is this impressive? It's not impressive, except for a few things. And I'm going to show them actually. I could also, let me see. Let me quickly show you a different approach to the same plus tools. But I just I closed it. Right. Let's do it again with another document, and it's called a test. So that's a more real-life document. I drag, I drop, and I ask the machine to have it pre-translated with machine translation, which is offered by Wordfast, and it's free. And that's the thing for many translators is that, yeah, they're not against machine translation, but it's such a hassle because you have to go to DeepL or go to Google Translate or Microsoft Translator. You have to take an account. You have to give a credit card. You have to fiddle with setting up your translation tool, putting, everything has to be ready. And after 2 hours, it still does not work. I'm sure that brings up many memories to you. So in Plus Tools, you just check, okay, I want to have my document pre-translated with machine translation offered by Wordfast and set up by Wordfast. I click OK. And you see that, okay. So the pre-translation is done on the entire document. That's the difference with all the translation tools, which go one segment at a time. You have Translators Association. They are going to translate that, and then you move to the next segment. In Plus Tools, the whole document goes to the machine translation engine. As a result, the empty engine has context. It knows what you're talking about because it has a whole document, not just one segment without the context before and after. So let's take a look. Okay, that is not translatable. So, okay, let's move. All right, so we reach here. The English is on top and the French is under. So it's not perfect. Okay. Okay.
Just sorry to interrupt you. Could you stop your camera so we can see the screen much bigger?
Sure. And let me see. Why is this here?
No, you are replying.
This?
We can see many screens now.
I know, but
Yeah,
is it better?
that's okay. Yes, much better. Thank you.
It's better. Okay, good. Okay. This. Oui. Okay. I'm bad. I did what I should not do. Voilà. So we can move segment to segment as I show here, and then when you see the little WF tag here, it means it's machine translation. That's offered by Wordfast for free, and also it's confidential. We're not interested in your translation. We're not interested in your source content. We're not interested in your target content, and so on and so on. It's guaranteed to be fully confidential, and we have our reputation at stake. We don't play games with data that belongs to translators. So again, it's an option, but you have top-notch, excellent machine translation for free without without having to use your credit card or to set up your tool and so on. It's all done here. If I open this, contactez-les avec notre offre. Okay. So you see that in the machine translation, tags, which are here, are also translated at the exact proper place and so on. We have options of easy options to move tags or okay, put it here. I put it here. Or I remove it, and then and I put my tag here too, and so on. So you see that it's a full-fledged translation tool. It has all the gear that a professional translation tool has. Um, so you have a little toolbar on top of the segment with copy source, expand or shrink the segment because it may not be segmented the correct way, remove the target and translation, and do a concordance search in your translation memory. So just a word on the translation memory. You don't have to set it up. You can if you want, but you don't have to set it up. What happens is that when PlusTool begins and you give it a language pair, that's it. PlusTools is going to create a translation memory for you, so you don't have to think about folders and formats and stuff. And the translation memory can contain up to at least a million and a half segments. Knowing that a full-time translator does roughly 20 to 30,000 segments a year, a million segment translation memory translates into 40 to 50 years of full-time professional work. So if I say this differently, you will retire long before PlusTools memory is full. So you don't have to think. I mean, as long as it's your TM, well, just you write and it's there. Now, of course, if you are what I call a power translator that knows technology very well, you may want to have one translation memory for every customer that you have, which is good. And then there is a user interface I will show you in a minute that lets you have as many translation memories as you want. But even very advanced translators that I know that have been working for decades, I know many still have one TM, and they put everything there and they trust their mind, not the machine. So when a TM brings you a match, you have to read it and you have to agree and you have to approve and move on. So, okay, of course you can have a TM for every client. But if the job you're doing, the translation you're doing has your attention, well, like many translators do, just have one big TM and use it all the time. So here we have this thing here. As I've shown, I've done just a few translated segments. So those that are not translated, when I save, will remain in English. The ones that I translated will be in French. So you see the tags here with the tags. So if I save the translated file, I do this, I open it with Word, and it's here. So it's a big file, and we see that now this is in French, and this is in French. The segments are translated are in French. Normally, if we had all day, I could have translated the entire document, and then that would be in French, as compared to the original, which is. Um, we are looking at a very standard, complete translation tool that has all the gear, all the options for a professional translator. It has a gigantic translation memory, which is local. Okay, it's on your hard disk. It has access to machine translation if you choose to do so. You don't have to, but you can choose to do so. It's not just the one that Wordfast gives for free, but you can connect to many other machine translation sources. You can connect to Google Translate, Microsoft Translator, to DeepL, to My Memory, to Modern MT. I'm not sure that still exists. Yandex, if you do Russian, and so on, and so on. So let me move back to my translation tool. I have a document that I translated, another document that I translated. I can now get to my settings. So here we have the various options, various facilities that advanced translators use. But if you work without a UI, without menus and options, you will only need save translated file. That's the only thing you will ever do. Now, of course, you can analyze, you can do the stats so it's here, so that when you bill your client, you may have the number of words, see? No, the number of segments, number of words, number of characters if you work by characters, and so on. And then for yourself, before you quote your client, you can know how much leverage you would have from your TM. So you know how quickly you can do the job if it's like a repetitive job. So you have the complete analysis. But I think I would say grassroots translators don't even use much of they use Word, and they do a word count, and then they bill their client. But you have that. Okay. Now settings. The settings we have now is, I'm going to see if I can do a bigger font. No, that's the large font. Okay, good. Settings. I hope you can see it on your screen. We only have 4 options. Use a free machine translation as I did. Now that can be checked out. Automatic translation memory is on. You can work without a TM. It's up to you, but TM is nice because it's your own content that comes back. So I would say 99% of the translators would do this. You can use a terminology base. And that's one of the features of Wordfast Classic, is that to add terminology, if you check this, you immediately come to a big empty text box. And what you do is that you, if your client has sent you a glossary, most of them it's an Excel file with source terms, target terms. Some people are going to send you a Word document with a column, a table with a column, right column, left, and so on. You just copy paste there, Okay, I'm going to maybe run a short test. Let me see if I can do it quickly. Work, big stuff, data, glossaries. Okay, let me take a glossary like not too big, not too small. That's an English to Russian. Let me try that. Open with Notepad. Okay, it's here. So let me see. Let me take a chunk of. Let's suppose your client has sent you data, which is like this, and it's here. I paste it here. I do a preview, you see, and the preview is Plus Tools took the unformatted mess that your client sent you, okay, and it has organized it in source colon, target colon, and so on. And then when you're happy with this, okay, that's your glossary. Save at the bottom. You save it, and it's there. From now on, you have the convenience of a cat tool glossary and all the options, that you automatically bring you the target term. You can add terms, edit terms, and so on. And then you opt in or out of the QA. As you type, the machine can tell you, oh, you're missing this or that, or and so on. Okay, so these are the options. The settings, those are, I would say, the no hassle or the no UI settings. Just choose what you want, click OK, done. Okay, but if you uncheck this, boom, you have the big bad UI to set up your translation and your engine. You can have Google Translate. Let me see. Apply. See. Get back here. I don't know what's. You can have so you have Google Translate, Microsoft DeepL, WordLingo, MyMemory, ModernMT, Yandex. You have OpenAI. So you have the AI plugins are already set up here. You just have to give your API key so you have OpenAI, Grok, DeepSeek, OpenSCAT. Don't know if you guys know. OpenSCAT is a machine translation that you run inside of your computer, so you don't have to go over the internet. As you can see here, it says local host. Local host means you're hitting a server which is inside your PC. Works with Mac and the PC and supports a lot of languages. I'm testing this now. Works well. Translation memory is here. You can even have a remote translation memory to a distant server, but that is pretty complex. Terminology is here. You select, so you can have up to two glossaries at the same time. QA. These are the options for QA. Spell check tags, placeables, ending punctuations, and so on. So VR, I'm not going to demonstrate that. It's a support for dictation. You can dictate instead of typing your translations. Basic options here. I'm going to put my email address. Good. So we've covered much of what I wanted to cover. We have 5 minutes left in the formal presentation. and then I will take observations or questions. Just one example. If I want to see my translation memory, well, it's here. Let me see it. Let me take a large one. Let me take this one here. Ah. So see, it's French to English. You can see your TM in a more simple layout, left-right, source on the left, target on the right, and then if you want to edit, okay, you can edit. You can remove things, you can merge new content in that. You can convert your translation memory to TMX, paste stuff from the clipboard, reorganize, do a custom export. You can filter, like, okay, any field contains what any field contains and there are going to be a lot of them. Okay, so all entries here have the word and, even in French, because we have grand and so on. So you can do you can search, filter, export, merge, and so on. You have the two things is that you own your translation memory. It's in a format, a text format, that you can open with Notepad or with Word and so on, and you can work on it and edit and so on. So I'm going to end here, maybe 1 minute before, 3 minutes before the end of the time that I have, and I think Karina can take questions.
Yes. Yes. You can now turn on your camera if you want. Well, I have a question here, Grace. Question for setting up machine translation. At some
Yeah.
point, I set up Google Translate with no problem, but there was no way of making Gemini work. What would be the correct prompt to enter so it works? And once it works, doesn't reply in a verbose mode.
In
So
the last part, doesn't reply in
uh,
at the end.
in the end, doesn't reply in a verbose mode.
Okay,
Verbose. So
and
we
that's
cannot
the
see you. We cannot see you.
yeah.
You
Okay,
are still sharing
yeah,
the
yeah. I know.
screen.
Let me
Stop
see.
sharing if you prefer or not.
No, maybe I'll get back to sharing, but I would like to just
to
get back
show.
to questions. Let me see.
Hmm.
Sharing. I'm not sharing now. I am,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, you are.
Okay,
Yes, you are.
okay.
But I cannot see you.
So,
Hmm.
but it's okay. Okay, so the lady asked, I tried to set up Google, right?
Uh-huh.
That's
Set
what
up at some point I set up Google Translate with no problem, but there was no way of making Gemini work.
okay, let me see. I'm going to try it now because I'm just make sure. Okay. So to make it work, empty is active has to be checked. Okay. And Google Translate has to be checked. Edit. And you have an API key. You see at the bottom here.
Hmm.
API key means Google at your account, Google account. Google gave you an API key. It's a long password, okay, that you put here. If you don't have that, it's not going to work. It's going to say la la la. You a lot of stuff. Your password. I mean, your API key was not found, and so on. Apart from that, it's preset, so you don't have anything to change. So let me try that. Okay, apply. And let me take a segment which is like this one. Okay, so you see at the bottom, GT took dear colleague and translated by share colleague. I'll down, next. So that's translated by Google Translate. To show one more thing that may help others, if you are setting up a machine translation source, could be Google, Microsoft, or DeepL, you can do edit. You see the edit button here?
Yes.
Okay. And it has a test button at the bottom. It's here. You click test. Okay. And you have a sentence. You can put your own. If you do German to English, you put a German sentence here. Okay. It's pre-filled with a stupid sentence, but you can put whatever you like. You click OK, and then it's going to test your machine translation engine, and it's going to tell you, okay, this is the translation I got with the tags. It's going to remind you what the URL was, okay, and so on, and it's going to show you the thing. And if it fails, it may explain why it failed. That's very important. I think the chief reason why it failed is that there's an API key here. Normally, I should not click here because I will show the, the API key. But if you are here, okay, you will see API key. It gives the first and the last part of the API key, and it obfuscates in between. So I have an API key for Google. If I click here, there is no API key. DeepL, I don't have one. Microsoft, I don't have one. Here, I have one.
Okay.
So for Grace, do you have an API key? Did you put it at the bottom here? If it's yes, well, you should test and then see if you really get the translation, and you should, you should actually. Yeah.
Okay. Jamie, do you want to speak or say something? Because I saw you were writing. I'm wondering if the question is how to use Google AI versus Google Machine Translation. That was what Jamie says. Do you want to speak, Jamie? Let me check because I'm trying to make Grace to speak. Grace. But I'm going to read a comment that Philippe sent me.
Okay.
The Gemini payment must be provisioned. Free Gemini does not longer work. They must have entered a credit card in either AI console and in Gemini. If not, it will never work.
Yeah,
And
but
then we have
Google Translate and Gemini are not the same thing. Okay. Google Translate works and will continue to work. Gemini is an AI
where are you,
assistant.
Philippe?
Yeah. But
Philippe?
we don't use
Mhm.
yeah, we don't use the Gemini yet with plus tools we could, but this session is really for people who basically don't want any complications. In fact, the real setup is this one. Okay, 4 checkboxes. What do you want? Click OK and it works.
Okay, Philippe, I have a question for you. If this right now is in a beta mode, right? This
Yes.
test tools.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
so it's free. We can all use it. And but for how long is it going to be a
Yeah.
beta?
So it's okay. Let's right now it's in beta mode, but it's about to go public, which means version 1.0 is just around the corner. It's going to be, I think, this spring. For the moment, it's completely free. If you grab it now and you don't upgrade or update, you have a free translation tool for life. Okay, let's make this clear. Then there will be version 1 and 1.1, and then at that point, it's still going to be free if you own Wordfast Classic or Wordfast Pro. Plus Tools was like designed as a little brother to Wordfast Classic and to Pro to some extent. So if you already own a license to Pro or Classic, use of the future Plus Tools is still going to be free. Is it going to be sold for people who have no previous or no existing Wordfast license? That's on the table right now. I cannot certify that it's going to remain free. It very much has to do with the future of Wordfast as a company, how well it does, and so on. But just for you to know, it's been really tested with many translators. It works, and if you take it as it is now, you have it. It's yours, and I would say you can upgrade as long as it's free. Just so that the day if one day in 2027, 2028, if one day there's a price on Plus Tools, well, just take the previous version you got before that and you use it as long as you want. There will be no blockage, nothing to block you, and you have a translation tool that you can use for life.
Okay, good. Now, I think now we are lucky, and Grace can ask you a question. Grace, are you there? You can speak now. No, come on. You're able now.
But maybe Grace has to click the microphone icon, no?
Yeah, I think so. But
it's at the bottom.
On my side, it's enabled, but I don't know what is going on. Well, we promise that we will change the go to go to webinar for another application very soon. Very soon.
Don't bash GoTo because they're going to cut us down.
No.
But could anyone in the audience click the mic and say hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
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 Hello, Carla. Well, nice.
Hello.
So it's working. It's not me. Well, Grace, I'm so sorry you're gonna speak to us. Well, can you turn on your camera now?
Me?
Yes,
Oops.
you. So we can see you and we can say goodbye to people.
Well, there's not much to see,
Well, all of you who desire to enable your cameras, you can do it also, so we can see you. I enable the cameras. There's Paula. Hola, Paula. I can see you guys. Relief, Carla. Well, how many people? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for your support, for your patience, because sometimes we have these technical issues. Luis, Adriana, thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this webinar. We are having more are coming, so thank you again. Luis, hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Because this go-to sometimes is kind of strange for me. But thank you so much. Of course, thank you, Yves.
But just one last point. It's okay. Plus Tools is in beta. It's almost going to be released soon. At that stage, you don't have to use a hotline. If you have any issue, any problems with Plus Tools, you talk directly to me, and then I'll help you out. So you have the best hotline you could dream of.
Yes, we love you to start using it and then to try it. If you are not using a Plus tool
Mm.
yet, let's give it a try, and then you can ask Eve or me all the question I can pass to Eve that he's the expert. So because it's still in beta, so you can introduce improvement or the things that you think would be better for you. Um, well, I think this is all. Thank you, Eve, for this webinar. I hope to see you all
Bye bye, and
soon.
have a good translation day if you translate, which I believe you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.